It's been 7 weeks since we started these cuttings and started these seeds. Here's the results. Back in January, I took some cuttings from the angel's trumpet that we had in the yard, the orange variant. And about that time that I decided to take those cuttings and propagate, I started looking into what other variations of angel trumpet there are out there. Went down that rabbit hole, and man, what a whole different world there is. I had no idea there were so many different varieties of Brugmansia, and I was just blown away. And I have to say, I plan on planting a whole garden of angel trumpet coming up as soon as we get these rooted. Now, we have an orange single in the yard, an unknown variety. Little old lady down the road gave it to me. And last year, we planted that in the ground. It came up, it bloomed, and it had a wonderful smell. And my wife and I, we just fell in love with how wonderful the smell was on that angel trumpet. And so when it come time for the freeze, we took cuttings and we wanted to propagate that. So I took some cuttings. I want to try a little experiment on which way gave us the best results when doing cuttings. I did see a lot of people they would take their cutting, they put it in water, and they would root. I was given a pink single by Miss Donna that way. And just in a few weeks, it has set an enormous amount of roots. So I decided to do the same thing. I took the same bottle she gave me. I put one of our fat cuttings down in there. And as you can see now, we have some roots. I took several of the other cuttings that I had left over. I put them in this jug, and we also have some roots in there. Now I've just topped this water up. I haven't changed any of this water. Why haven't I changed it? Because I'm a bad gardener. I love getting stuff going, but then the follow-up is when you get busy, it's hard to follow up to do it, all the maintenance stuff. But anyway, I also wanted to try this bagging method of how I've been doing my figs. So I put one of the cuttings, a little medium-sized cutting, down into one of these, I think that's a 16-inch long bag by 4 inches around with some potting soil. Put a rubber band around there so it doesn't lose the moisture. And then pull it around the bottom to kind of hold it tight down in the soil so it doesn't move. But look at the amount of roots that thing has thrown off. I've gotten really good results out of this method, and I've never had to add water to it, but look at all that growth on there. Now the results are one other thing. I took a couple of those cuttings and I stuck them down in these containers with potting soil in it, and I just wanted to see how that would turn out. I got roots coming out of the bottom of this one, so it seems to me that this one turned out pretty good. And I haven't taken a look yet, but let's see if we can just get a little peek and see what's going on with it. Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
My wonderful wife is bringing me coffee.
Aww. And Mika want to go by.
All right.
Here's your coffee.
Thank you, baby.
Right behind you.
Okay, you set it right there. I got both hands full. All right, now I don't have as many roots as I had hoped, but it's not a bad turnout. Those are a pretty good amount of roots. It's ready to go into a bigger pot or up pot, or it can stay in here for a couple of weeks longer and grow it on out, which we're going to probably do. It could probably stay in here. Honestly, you could probably grow it in this pot for several more months before it would need up potting. All right, so I've got this other angel trumpet here with a lot more growth on it. I've got a few roots showing at the bottom, but I don't have them coming out of the bottom like the other one was. So I'm going to flip it upside down. Let's take a look. All right, so hold it up. I got a good amount of roots under there. This one seemed to have been really putting on the growth while it was in this container. So I guess whichever one of the All right, now I did go down the rabbit hole and order more cuttings, and you saw me root those in cups. So I've got 3 different varieties over here. I'm going to set these back out of the way. The 3 varieties I have here are Pink Perfection, Salmon Perfection, and then there's a double pink unknown variety. I don't know what this one is. Let's just start with these since it's up front. It's the unknown. Oh, this is Pink Perfection. Okay. So I put them in these cups the same time I rooted all those in, all those other cuttings. And you can see I've got a little bit of root showing right there. They did set root. I don't have a lot of top growth. So it looks as if the cuttings that were in cups didn't do as well as the ones that were in starter bags or in the big tree pots that I just finished showing you. But they did root. 2 more of the same variety. Got roots on them, but nothing to wow you. And these were grown in the exact same way, exact same spot, side by side on the heat mat with bottom heat. This is Salmon Perfection. I've got good roots on that one right there. Decent roots on that one. So these did better than the Pink Perfection, but still not as good as the one in the cups or in the tree pots. And then here was the Peach Unknown. This is a Peach Double. Now this one seemed to have done the best, I guess because it's an unknown. So good roots on that. Again, not a lot of top growth. I'm getting some shoots from around the bottoms and those bottom shoots down there. Those are really starting to look good. So all in all, they all rooted. They all look good. Now the ones in water, they are absolutely covered in aphids. Look at those leaves. They were sitting over by the window. I guess they had an aphid come in through the door over there, and these are just ate up. We're going to pot these up today. I'm going to take these outside and rinse these off with some good little stream of water. We're going to get rid of those aphids, and if that don't do it, I've got some spray I could put on it, some little soap or something. But look at those roots. I do have roots. Again, they're nothing to wow you. They were much slower to root than any of the other methods that I had over there. So if you just want to give someone a cutting, tell them to put it in a glass of water, put it in a sunny window, it'll root. But it's probably not the best way to root. Just judging by my results. It seems like most of those roots came out right at the injury site where those cuttings took place. And then same thing with this one, full of aphids on the leaves. And then a lot of roots growing out of that right there. But in water seems not to be not the best way to do it. Now moving on, these are the seeds that we planted. I put little tags and I associated a number with the crosses that were sent to me. And I've had, out of the 7 crosses that I planted, 5 of them came up, at least one variety. And selection number 5 and number 6 didn't germinate. I went back to my seed box and I pulled the rest of those seeds out and I replanted. Since we're moving now into spring, it's been getting into the 80s here outside. I'm still keeping these on a heat mat during the night and then putting them outside in the sunlight during the day to start hardening them off. But I'm going to give these seeds another round, another chance to germinate. Over here we have some of the devil's trumpet, the datura. Some of those on the end are starting to sprout and come up. I've got 1 more month and then I can order seeds again from brugsmansia.us from my membership over there. So I'm excited to place another order I got some stuff picked out that I really want to try and get going. All right, guys, that's our update. We're gonna go ahead and get busy potting these up. And it may be a little bit, you know, a few more weeks getting into spring, be busy in the garden. But we'll bring you back and we'll show you where we're at with these cuttings and give you an update then. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for future updates. Don't forget to like, share, and comment below. Thanks for watching.